Indianapolis Colts and the Detroit Lions. It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit.
Coming out of the end zone, here's Dontrell Hilliard. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive.
And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Wilson. And he's got his man on the out route. On a gain of 3 on the play. And 3rd and 8 now.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. Well, Charles, this Thanksgiving tradition, so great. I mean, going back essentially through the full century of the NFL, I know you probably have a lot of fond memories of Thanksgiving Day football yourself.
I certainly do, and I don't have the turkey bowl.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. T.J. Edwards able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return, and the Lions will take over. They go play action here on 1st down. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
First carry for DeAndre Swift.
And he stopped immediately there. The corner, Stephon Gilmore on the stop.
The Lions at 6-4 now on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Back to throw.
Richards. Hockenson crossing the middle and bringing it in.
And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This is taken at the 15. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they, almost to a man, told us how excited they are to be playing in this traditional Thanksgiving game. But we have to remember, this is a team that lost on Sunday. Now they get a very quick turnaround to play again. How difficult is that to do?
It's difficult under any normal circumstance when you're coming off of a loss and you have a quick turnaround. The first thing is to put the loss behind you and move forward. But when you play on Thanksgiving Day, everyone's watching you. It's an added bonus, though, because now you put the loss behind you. Get that taste out of your mouth, because the taste you want is victory, turkey, and pumpkin pie.
And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down.
So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play, and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Richards. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there at the moment the ball gets to the receiver. And he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Richards.
That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
Back to throw again.
This one caught. It's the tight end, Hawkinson.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A very solid gain of 27.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift.
And not able to break away this time, as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. No score after 1 on EA Sports. maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They go jet sweep here with Williams. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Shaquille Leonard with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Seibert able to knock this one through. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
They'll try the left side with Taylor. Down to the 42, 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
They'll run the toss here with Taylor.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down.
To throw is Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick.
And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
Second and 10.
Operating from the gun, Richards. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins.
And the Coltsons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49. You know, thinking of this Thanksgiving Day game, Charles, for years we've heard the talk, why don't we open up these Thanksgiving Day games instead of just being Detroit and Dallas every year, give other teams a shot to host? I know you're kind of like me, a bit of a traditionalist, but what do you have to say to that, CD?
I think it's a great argument, and the league could support it quite well, where you could move games to different spots and still be very successful on Thanksgiving Day. But you're exactly right. I am a traditionalist. I really don't want Detroit and Dallas to give up those slots. I like the fact that we watch them each and every year. But what I really like is that the league added a third game in 2006. And usually it's division rivals, but that's the third one of the day, and it caps off a great day of football.
On second down, it's Taylor.
They juked him, and they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Play action. Now Wilson. Flushed out right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Well, the best don't mind making tough throws, but that was a real difficult one right there. Out of the pocket, trying to beat double coverage. More times than not, that's going to end up as an incomplete pass, if not worse.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On third down, here's Taylor.
And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here, maybe try and come up with a field goal to seize the lead before intermission.
He's got a man, complete. Gets around him. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And the Colts pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
It's not often that we see big plays end in disaster, and we just absolutely saw it right there. They had something really big cooking on that one.
Can you, when you're down near the goal line like that on a big play, do you get maybe a little too careless, a little too desperate for the goal line?
I think the last part is exactly right. You get desperate for the goal line, and sometimes you get the ball out ahead, away from your body, or you're trying to extend to get there, or maybe you're just trying so hard that the ball will come out of your hands. In any event, that's a big opportunity lost.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick.
And the Lions are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins.
No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee-wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. Touchdown! Jamison Williams, his 14th touchdown now on the year.
And the Lions come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off.
Hilliard now from his end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory.
53 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Wilson. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Campbell.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Six yards left on 2nd down.
Now a give to Taylor. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Here's Wilson to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker.
And the Lions are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
They'll start on the ground with Swift.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He's brought down there by Kenny Moore.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Richards. His throw incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Richards looking long for Thomas. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
Touchdown, Indianapolis!
Jonathan Taylor, his 16th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Colts are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Extra point splits the uprights, and we are even at 10 apiece. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
They run out of the gun with Swift.
7 yards there and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Richards. Well, it's caught on the right side and Snell. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Richards. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 27-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Throws out left. It's caught by Williams.
So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it'll be 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, Swift.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
To throw on 3rd down, Richards.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
goes left side. 20. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD.
So what a turn of events there. You're driving to take the lead in this third quarter, but then one mistake, and you're watching the ball being returned for a touchdown.
Certainly a great example of how focus has to be there on every play, doesn't it, partner? You can't get complacent, and I think that he did. He's got him moving downfield, but that's a play where he just shouldn't have thrown the football, and that ultimately could wind up costing him the ball game.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And can they regroup? That's the question. The pick six hurt, no doubt, but this is still a one-score game here in the fourth.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Richards. Eluding the pressure right.
And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Richards. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th. Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. 39 yards on the punt. Give him just 1 yard on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet.
Deshaun Elliott up to make the play defensively.
And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Yeah, good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 119 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
That is caught. Michael Pittman with it.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Another 18-yard gain. They had 18 on the previous snap as well.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Good gain there on 1st down, and keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Lions are right back in this football game.
Now a play fake here on first down. They'll roll him out right. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
He's got a man complete.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
They will run straight ahead with Swift.
He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked off by Julian Blackman. And the Colts will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
They run once more with Taylor.
And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
As to you said big third down, I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. The Colts send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. Now a hit and a loose football. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punch coming in, I have a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not, but sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
2nd down, another run with Taylor.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Now Wilson. It's caught. Tolbert.
And he is going to have a Colts first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football.
So you think it's not tough playing quarterback in the NFL? How about what we just saw there? The rush got home on 3rd down. He had to stand in there and take the shot as he released it. Throws on target, though, and it's good enough to keep the drive moving.
Now a handoff. Taylor with it.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
And they take a knee. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Well, without question, when you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for Indianapolis, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3.
And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Meanwhile, for Detroit, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.